Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umeteua nyadhifa za viongozi na bunge za kaunti na kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki za wanadamu, twakusihi tutazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za kaunti na Jamhuri ya Kenya. Twakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri za kaunti hii yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. The bell be rung for quorum. Honorable Nyauntu, mobilize the members talking about BBI outside the chamber. And we have a honorable member stranded outside Bomas. I don't know why he decided to go. Honorable member, you are completely out of order. I don't think you are walking into Bomas of Kenya. Orders of the business.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I can see we have happy faces. Let us concentrate for the orders of the business. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, papers.
Next order.
Order number 5, petitions.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Next order.
Order number 7, statement.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Maybe you could give us a few minutes. We say something about PPI in this session, this part of statements, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member, I'll allow as soon as just before the adjournment. I can see Honorable Fred is also raring to comment, but I'm wondering why your name was in the list of members going to Bomas. But I'm surprised the majority leader you didn't go. I think we only have one member who went and is now stranded at the entrance. Honorable Fred.
Ningependa kupata habari kwa mheshimiwa kiranja wetu. Amesimama kwa hoja gani? Hapa Depunga, hapa si kanisa mheshimiwa.
Thank you very much, Honorable Fred. Next order.
Order number 8.
Honorable Speaker,
Yes, Honorable Gideon Koech.
I have a statement to seek, Honorable Speaker. I don't know why the clerks at the table
The same has
are not
been read to the table.
are not facilitating me to do so.
When did you submit
And,
the statement?
I submitted yesterday.
Let me concur with the clerks.
I want to also make an inquiry, Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Gideon.
Yesterday, when you gave direction that today we would be receiving responses.
That is
and
in the
that you had-
afternoon. All of them in the afternoon.
Fair enough.
Next order.
Order number 8, motion.
Honorable Walter Teno.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I wish Thank you. I wish to move a motion, Honorable Speaker, on the report of the status of the county markets. Honorable Speaker, the committee is established understanding of 194 with a mandate related to all matters to trade development, regulation including markets, trade license, fair trading practice, and functions of the committee are some of the functions indicated on the list, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on the status of the county markets, that I will not read all parts, Honorable Speaker, because every member has a copy. That out of 58 proposed modern kiosks, only in 8 wards.
Inquiry.
Honorable Terry.
I would like to inquire, Honorable Speaker, whether the move of motion is actually the person mentioned here, who is January Askering.
Honorable Terry,
Chairperson.
the person or the honorable members you're inquiring is the vice chair who can be able to move in place of the chair. Proceed, Honorable Vice Chair.
Inquiry, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Gideon Koech.
I would wish to inquire because in a jointer to what Honorable Teresa said, at least it could be fair enough to the House to mention something related to the chair, because although he's the vice chair, at least he could have acknowledged that the chair is available, and is also would have been there to make the same statement, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Walter Teno, would you want to respond to that about the whereabouts of your chair?
Yeah. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think you are true, Honorable Speaker, that in absence of the chair, the vice chair takes all the responsibility, Honorable Speaker, and that is the mandate as per the standing order. So allow me to continue and protect me from Honorable Terry and Honorable Gideon, Honorable Speaker, so that I may continue.
Maybe you could put in a word and tell them that you are working in a very good way with your chair.
Yes, we are working with our able chairman, January Askering, as a team, and I'm a team member, Honorable Speaker.
But I'm sure with the kind of reaction and laughter, it may be the opposite, but you can proceed. Kindly proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Information, Honorable Chair.
Honorable Clara, what is it?
Honorable Chair, like you said, the laughter might mean the opposite. I want to categorically tell this House that Honorable January, as the able chair of trade, is a very active member and even practices trade itself. So Honorable Chair is...
I'm afraid from your face. From your own face and reaction, that seemed to be a very sarcastic statement. Vice Chair, please proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And point to note, Honorable Speaker, we are happy that we are having the chair for liquor as part of the team of trade, Honorable Speaker. So we are working hand in hand with the Honorable Fred.
So you're just confirming that you had to seek the inclusion of Honorable Fred to at least make the committee active.
Yes, Honorable
But
Speaker.
proceed. So that in fact confirms the notion about the chair, but you can proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, I was on the status of the county markets, whereby we are saying that out of 58 proposed modern kiosks, only in 8 wards, 21 are complete and 4 ongoing. The rest are stalled. Number 2, that the modern kiosks were not fairly distributed across the 30 wards, because some other wards don't have the same market stalls, Honorable Speaker. Number 3, that kiosks are complete and not allocated to those interested in doing business, and the allocation criteria is not clearly defined. On budgetary allocation, Honorable Speaker, on the construction and renovation of the county markets and pollution blocks, the County Assembly approved budget of Kenya shillings 27,529,550 for the construction of pollution blocks for the financial year 2017-2018, and Kenya shillings 15 million for the construction of the county markets across the county. Honorable Speaker, the committee observed and found out that the county markets comprises of the market stalls that were constructed by the county government in various trading centers. However, some of these stalls are stalled. Some complete but rendered useless as they are not utilized by the traders, as they were wrongly placed without considering the market strength and its capacity to generate revenue. Further, the allocation criteria was not ascertained, hence compromising on fairness to those traders from special groups whom they have interest in doing business from these stalls, for example, PWDs. That was a point to note, Honorable Speaker. On committee observations, Honorable Speaker, that there were no fairness in the distribution of the market stalls across the county, that the allocation criteria to various special groups were not followed, and that some market stalls were constructed without considering the viability, rendering the taxpayer with no value for money. That market stalls have stalled. For example, the market in Serem, that have stalled due to high cost of leveling, excavation, and therefore the contractor has been terminated. On the pollution blocks, Honorable Speaker, the committee was able to have field visit to various public toilets across the county, and it was found that most of the pollution blocks were constructed within the markets with intentions to be used by the market traders and their esteemed customers. From the field visit, the following were the committee observations: that most pollution blocks were very dirty for use by the general public, that some complete but some were complete but locked and are not in use. For example, Kapongwa pollution block, hence no value for money to the taxpayer. That those toilets that are functional are not maintained by the relevant department despite generating revenue. That the existing public toilets are not enough to serve the entire population across the county. Number 5, that conflicting interests by 2 departments, that is trade and administration departments, are competing to construct their toilets without consulting each department, leading to duplication of duties. That there is an issue of pending bills that has discouraged most of the potential and small-scale business class, and that some are not safe as they are risky and collapse bit. For example, the one at Chomishia, which is at risk of collapsing any time, Honorable Speaker. On the recommendation, Honorable Speaker, that the department going forward should conduct an effective public persuasion so as to get views from the public on the viability of the buildings, the toilets to be in use. That the department should ensure that the projects tendered out should be completed within the stipulated period to avoid unnecessary delay, hence affecting the service delivery. That the department should work closely with the lands and administration departments to identify appropriate parcels of land for the proposed projects. that most of the abolition blocks are still under pending bills, and therefore the department should consider paying those projects that were completed and met a minimum legal threshold. That those toilets that are completed and locked be immediately open for public use. On committee general recommendation is that modern flush toilets be considered to replace the collapsing latrines. An example is the one in Kapsabet that is also collapsing. That there should be a competitive allocation of market stalls so that it can address an issue of equality, Honorable Speaker, across the county. That there should exist a market management committee to manage the markets, and they comprise of different classes of businessmen and ladies, and that the department should come up with a policy that will be used in allocation of the market stalls. That there is need for market at the resource trading center due to high population of students at the nearby institute, as the students have been tracking for a longer distance to Kibiok market. That the Department of Lands should put measures to those residents who have encroached on public land to avoid a further delay in project implementation. That the procurement department should fast track their procurement process to avoid delays in project implementation. That the department to facilitate the renovation of toilets at various markets, for example, in Lesos market. That there should be a transparent and fair distribution of the market stalls to various groups like youth and persons with disabilities. That the department should be allocated more resources to cater for the increased demand for more toilets across the county markets with respect to increased population trading centers, for example, Kopuchai, Kaiboi, and Lesos markets. Honorable Speaker, attached are some of the annexures, that is modern markets, some of the modern markets that we visited, the pollution blocks, and the pollution within the markets, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, on committee resolutions, is that, Honorable Speaker, on the annexures, we have implementation status. That is the status of the market stalls for financial year 2017-2018. And some can be like, number one is a proposed construction of market stalls at Maraba markets. That is 9 units for 2017-2018. It was awarded to Link Up Enterprises, Honorable Speaker, at a cost of 2.9 million. It is complete, and application for allocation is in progress. So, Honorable Speaker, we have given all the status and those contracts which have been terminated, Honorable Speaker. So, because all the honorable members have the copy, Honorable Speaker, we also have table 2, that is in Annex 2, the proposed construction of pollution blocks under the pending bills. Some are said to be 100% complete, but they are locked, Honorable Speaker, because it is under pending bills, which actually we discussed yesterday, Honorable Speaker. And I think this will guide even the CC Finance when we will be coming here on that, Honorable Speaker, so that we may raise these issues, Honorable Speaker. Otherwise, Honorable Speaker, I call upon Honorable Fred Kipkemboi. To second. Thank you.
Honorable members, I therefore propose a question on the Trade, Investment and Destination Committee report on the status of the county markets, and the same can be debated. Honorable Gideon Koech.
Mr. Speaker, I wish to thank the committee for the response they have given on this particular important matter of market stalls and the abolition blocks in relation to Trade Investment Committee or Department. Mr. Speaker, I'm happy that they have come up with this report as a follow-up to a question I raised concerning market stalls in Nandi Hills. It's so unfortunate that they never bothered to go to Nandi Hills town to check any of the projects therein. I have seen the nearest they went was Lesos, where they have made good recommendations. Mr. Speaker,
Inquiry, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Clara.
Honorable Speaker, is it in order for Honorable Member for Nandi Hills to insinuate that the committee did not visit Nandi Hills, whereas we sent the able chair to visit Nandi Hills markets and he came with the report?
Where is that report, Honorable Clara?
Honorable Speaker, the report is within this report.
We have a report within a report. Honorable Gideon, what say you about that? Do you feel satisfied that your Nandi Hills ward has been mentioned in any way?
Mr. Speaker, the only nearest part that Nandi Hills has been mentioned is to on an annexure. Annexure. It's only on annexure where there is the construction of the 4 units of market stalls in Nandi Hills, where they have mentioned of the contract having been terminated and retendering being done. Mr. Speaker, I want to seek your indulgence that the said committee should produce the cancellation note of that particular tender and the process so far. This is a project that was supposed to be done 17-18. We are in 1920. So as much as they're talking of the able chairman and the committee being active, Mr. Speaker, the report speaks otherwise. It speaks of a department that has been doing competing. Department of Administration and Trade competing to build toilets in the same places, whether it is Chesoe, whether it is Arwas, or even Kabiyet. Administration goes to construct a toilet, trades follows. So, Mr. Speaker, I think as much as I would appreciate the committee that they have clearly depicted the clear picture of things in the ground. So I think the report also, this report clearly gives the true picture of the sorry state of the Department of Trade and Investment. Out of 58 proposed modern kiosks, 25 are complete, 21 are complete, 4 are ongoing. It is below average. 33 are stalled, Mr. Speaker. And I think in the 33, it includes the 17, 18, 18, 19. Mr. Speaker, I think this committee needs to still go further, come up with a report that is very actionable, a report that will speak to radical shift in the Department of Trade, that will see us get value for money for the particular resource we allocate this particular department. I am on record as saying that the Department of Administration should not hold any development vote, but should leave everything to the Trade Investment Department. But if we will be giving resources this particular department to go and sit on the resources and bring a report of 33 stall projects, then we would better transfer all the resources to administration and public service, Mr. Speaker. So I want to believe that this report is just but an eye-opener on things that are happening in the department, so that we can get value for the money that we invest. I want to register my disappointment in the fact that this particular report has not spoken to the fact that we need several other markets to be established. I have not seen anywhere in this report that is mention of some proposed markets in Nandils, one in Sayet and one in some other remote place, Mr. Speaker, which has a location in the subsequent years. So, Mr. Speaker, as much as we talk of, what I only want to appreciate in this report, Mr. Speaker, is the fact that they have mentioned that there is need to complete all the stalled projects and consider payment of the pending bills so that the several abolition blocks that were constructed can serve the public. The several market stalls that were initiated can serve the public. So, Mr. Speaker, as you give your final direction in this report, consider mentioning the fact that largely Nandils for this case. The report touches on the market stalls and kiosks and the abolition blocks. There is one other component of trade in Nandils and some other parts. Here in Kapsabet, we have a market that is formerly known as Soko. In Nandils, we have a market where the women sell their groceries and the likes. There is nothing that this report is mentioning in relation to that and should capture so that we can have these particular markets in good shape. For Nandils, it is giving revenue to this county. But if you look at even the abolition block in that market, it is in a sorry state. When it rains, those women really suffer because the entire place is muddy. Honorable Speaker, I hope in the subsequent budgets, and now that the chair budget is the vice chair trade, I hope he will consider when we will be handling even the supplementary that is due for presentation to this house, you will consider a renovation of these markets because those are the highest revenue earner to this particular county. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Gideon, I think you, in your submissions, you talked about the competing jurisdiction between administration department and trade department. And I think sometime last week, Honorable Cynthia was working with a document saying that it is literally causing a gridlock, where even the issue of planning, there's no clarity which department it falls in. And I think the committee can consider, because you can come in form of an amendment and propose. What do you propose? Because they seem to be a finding from the committee that the two departments are competing. So the committee then or member can propose. What do you propose? What is the best way out? And that has been a problem in overlap. You remember there was a problem between the Department of Tourism, gender and the rest together with agriculture at first instance, where you'll find even what the committee does here vis-a-vis the department. So I think it is important. They seem to be open-ended. There's lack of clear recommendation. What do you suggest for that? Secondly, I think also you mentioned about, if you look at the recommendations, I would ask the committee to be more specific and give timelines. Like the yesterday's motion and reports, we said it is important for committee to be specific. Could you give the department a timeline? Could you give the department directions and specific recommendation? Because there's a danger of having open-ended recommendation. They will just take it and it will be difficult for them to implement because they'll say, you've not directed, what exactly would you want us to do? So those are the things I think I would propose that as a member or any person contributing can consider. Honorable Mengech.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As a member of this committee, Honorable Speaker, let me begin by mentioning 19th November as a very important day. 19th November is a celebration of it's World Toilets Day. And coincidentally, Honorable Speaker, it is also International Men's Day. Honorable Speaker, the only public toilet in Kapsabet worth mentioning If you cross there, you will find the flag of the European Union. 56 years after independence, we still have to request the European Union to build for us toilets, a very important facility, Honorable Speaker. Going around our markets, like let me mention the market in Olesos. Yeah, the toilets, I mean, you cannot even talk about it, Honorable Speaker. And then, of course, when I went through the report from the Department of Trade, they said the toilet in Koilot has been done 10%. And that it has taken them 4 years to dig the 10% of the toilet, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, for the benefit of the county in terms of revenue, you see, Honorable Speaker, we have had a big challenge on revenue. While the Department of Finance is talking about 450 million, the Chair, Finance and Budget will tell us we have not even collected 190 million in the last 3 years. We have not collected. In Olesos, there is a huge population of students. The last count was 5,219. Every Sunday, these students, because they don't have a lot of money, they have to trek all the way to Kibiok Market, which is famously called Sokomjinga. So we want the people of Olesos to be able to set up a market so that the county can get revenue, the students can spend little time coming to Kibiok in Chepkunyuk ward. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, wasted resources. We have markets built by Showmap. We have the first one in Kibiok. It's called Kibiok Market, but now people call it Sokomjinga. Each of those markets costed 35 million. We have another one in Labuyo, Honorable Speaker. We have another one in Serem. We have another one in Kobujai. Kaptumo. Each of them costed 35 million. Honorable Speaker, those markets have never been used. They have never been utilized, not even 5%. And yet we have a department called Trade, which is supposed to help the Department of Finance to generate revenue. Those markets, the people of Kenya and the people of Nandi have never got value for money. We want these markets to be actualized so that, of course, the people who are building the markets were only interested in kickbacks and the others. Because if you look at the market in Labuywa, which is built next to a river, market, what's a market? What's a market? A market is buying and selling of goods and services. But now these people are interested in the structures, the obsession with infrastructure. A market should be commerce, exchange of goods, but now we're interested in infrastructure. So, Honorable Speaker, for this to be actualized, there must be, number one, a change of leadership in the Department of Trade. That is the first one. I can bet that the leadership at the department does not even know the committee on trade. Maybe the only person they know is maybe the chair. Maybe the chair. Honorable Speaker, let me give you why the department is being run down. We have stalls being constructed in Olesos at the cost of 3.2 million. Now, the taxpayers in Olesos raised issues concerning the construction of the stalls. So we had public participation.
Honorable Terry. Honorable Mengech, take a seat.
I would like to inquire from the member of Trade Committee who has alluded that the leadership of the department don't even know the members, maybe only the chair, whether they know their mandate, because I want to believe they should make themselves known, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Mengech.
Uchulishaji mheshimiwa.
Honorable Fred, what is it?
Ningependa kuchulisha mheshimiwa Terry ya kwamba huyu waziri hajawahi fanya mkutano yoyote na ukamati ya biashara, na hata mimi ni mmoja wao, lakini hajui niko ndani, mheshimiwa Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader.
Point of information, Mr.
Yes, Honorable Majority Leader.
Unless the committee does not know their rules, Mr. Speaker, because the committee is more powerful than the CEC, Mr. Speaker.
I think
The
they have never
committee
even
has the
summoned.
power to summon the CEC and the CEO, unless you don't have the teeth, this committee.
Uchulishaji
Honorable Fred,
Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kuchulisha kiranja yangu ya kwamba yeye anaelewa kwamba hata hao ndio masisi superpower, hata ukiita wakuji. Sasa utafanya namna gani Mheshimiwa Spika? Tumeita mara ngapi na hakuji Mheshimiwa Spika?
Honorable Fred, why is it has never come to the attention of the House that CC, you remember when Alfred, CC Finance, had almost refused to come, and you remember what action we took in the House? So I don't know why you've never raised it before the floor of the House. The committee chair, who, as you say, is the only one known. So it means it is a committee that is also dysfunctional. So it's a two-way thing. So it is, Honorable Majority Leader.
Let me finish, Mr. Speaker. This is a department where there is a lot of laxity, Mr. Speaker. I also concur with the committee. There is no seriousness in that committee, in that department, Mr. Speaker. And I support what Honorable Chairman and Honorable Mengage said. We have so many stalled projects, Mr. Speaker. Out of 53, nobody is even making a follow-up, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Majority Leader, I would give you a chance to comment substantively because you're now going into the content. I'll give you the space. Honorable Mengage was presenting. This was just a point of inquiry by Honorable Terry, which I think has been addressed. Let Honorable Mengage. Honorable Clara, take a seat. I know today you are really, really excited, but take a seat. Take a seat. You will contribute.
It's important information, Honorable Speaker.
You can. What is it, Honorable Clara?
Honorable Speaker, I would like to inform the Majority Leader and Honorable Teresa, who I believe has given some dose to the Majority Leader, that this committee is super informed about its mandate. We have time and again invited the CC for trade. We have sought statements, which they rarely answer them. We have invited them, they have failed. And if you heard the member clearly, he said that the leadership in the executive, the Department of Trade needs to be changed, if that is what you heard clearly. So we know
Honorable
our mandate.
Clara, my only concern is I'm not seeing it in your report. That's a very glaring problem because you are actually saying the summary of this.
Honorable Speaker, the recommendations are welcome.
Take a seat.
Amendments are welcome.
Take a seat. Honorable Mengage, proceed.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. It is good that members have realized. Honorable Terry has raised a very important issue, Honorable Speaker. I've visited the department like 3 times this session. Unfortunately, at no time have I been able to trace the CEC and the CEO. Once I was talking about the stores being constructed in Olesos. So the CEO and a few members of staff came for public participation when members, taxpayers in Olesos raised an issue about the stores being constructed. And we had some agreements with the contractor that he rectified some of the work, some of the shoddy work he had done. Unfortunately, Honorable Speaker, as I stand here today, it has taken 41 days and the contractor has not surfaced. And the reason goes back to the leadership in the department. Honorable Speaker, I want to request members that as Honorable Member Clara said, even though that recommendation is not here, Honorable Speaker, leadership needs an overhaul in the department, honestly speaking. Yeah, because these people, we have a serious shortcoming where the Department of Trade does not even know that the other function is industrialization, Honorable Speaker. Like I've requested the members of the committee that we ought to visit the milk processing plant because it's part of the industrialization that we are talking about, because this department has to do that. Another issue, Honorable Speaker, when Honorable Gideon has raised issues about Nandi Hills. When you look at Nandi Hills, Honorable Speaker, as the second largest town after Kapsabet, we need a serious market there. But if you go, there's no space. There's no space for traders. We need better space in Nandi Hills. Lastly, Honorable Speaker.
Information, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Gideon.
Yes, I want to guide my colleague, the Honorable Member for Lesos. Nandi Hills has bigger space for even everyday open air market. We have even space just next to our church, Nadi's Catholic, that have consistently engaged the same department to be able to draft an engagement agreement with the proprietor to use that space, but nothing has been forthcoming. We have a space just behind the county sub-county headquarters. So, Mr. Speaker, the story of lack of space in Nandils is not here nor there. There is space. It is lack of initiative by the state department.
Chulishaji Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Fred.
Ningependa kujulisha rafiki yangu kutoka Nandi ya kwamba hiyo shamba ya soko ni ya mtu, Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Speaker,
Yes, Honorable Mengech.
as I conclude, Honorable Speaker, as I conclude, as we wait for the CC finance to come, we need to deal with these pending bills, Honorable Speaker, as a matter of urgency. It's holding us down. As I said yesterday, our budget has been reduced to work in progress and pending bills. It has become impossible to oversight the budget. Impossible. It has not been possible, Honorable Speaker. In 2017, 2018, we had pending bills. 2018, 2019, pending bills. 2019, 2020, pending bills. In 2020, 21, 22, we still have pending bills. These pending bills for market stalls and public toilets should be done away with at the end of this financial year. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Swadi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this chance to also give my views on this report. I stand to some extent support this report and also to give my views on this report. First, Mr. Speaker, I do concur with the committee where the committee observation says that there was no fairness in the distribution of market stalls across the county. That is very important because, you know, all the 30 wards in Nandi County should be given a fair when it comes to fairness, when it comes to distribution of our resources or a project in our Nandi County. So most of the wards were not given this opportunity to have the stalls in the wards, and that is where I do agree with the observation of the committee. And also, Mr. Speaker, I do believe that this committee, mostly they depended on the report from the executive than going on the ground. Because if you see, like, for example, let me say in my area, that is Serem Market, where the observation of the committee says that the market stalls have sold, e.g. Serem Market, that have sold due to cost of leveling or excavation. And therefore the contract has been terminated. Mr. Speaker, when the contractor is given a tender, he has already gone to the ground and assessed the ground and the work which should be done in the ground. And the procurement process is done, and the tender is given to the contractor. How comes that after the contractor has been given the contract, he is complaining about the high cost of leveling excavation, and before he was given the tender, the person went to the ground? That's where I don't agree with the report and also our tendering, our procurement officers, because this one, it is not in order, Mr. Speaker. You see, the same Serem Market, which was which was supposed to be done 2017-2018. That contract, when I see the committee is recommending that the committee has recommended that the contract terminated, retendering in process. Mr. Speaker, I'm just wondering, retendering in process since 2017, 2018, 2018, 2019, we are now 2019, 2020, the retendering is just going on. This is a very big joke, Mr. Speaker, where the committee must be very serious to do follow-up on these issues, because the project of 2017, 2018 should be done and completed. Mr. Speaker, when I come to the same Serem market, we have a very nice and beautiful building which was constructed by the Shomap. This building was constructed 2016, and it's just there. It's not working. The soils are very beautiful. What steps are the committee taking to make sure that this very beautiful building, which has been constructed by Shomap, by then the MP for Aldai, Honorable Sally, who has given us a very beautiful building, that is Shomap Market, and it's just there. Now I think it is now a dumping site. The committee should take steps and make sure that that building is in use. Okay, Mr. Speaker, if I move to the same report from the committee, that is Serem Ablution Block, but they have said Terik Ward. It is not Terik, it is in Kabareng Ward, which the committee says that it is completed but collapsed due to heavy rain and vandalization, which is wrong. That is misleading. I'm the area MC of that area. This toilet, Mr. Speaker, was done when it was no rain, and that toilet it didn't finish 2 weeks and collapsed. The contractor did not do that toilet in the manner which was supposed to be done. That toilet collapsed. It was not due to heavy rain. It was just done just badly. So, Mr. Speaker, this contractor, because when I see this, what the committee is trying to do is to say that this contractor did the toilet nicely and he should be paid. Let me tell you, this contractor should not be paid. In fact, he should be surcharged, because this toilet was done and collapsed even before that toilet was even done roofing. So, Mr. Speaker, the report, as said by Honorable Gideon, the committee need to maybe to work extra hard so that to bring a very comprehensive report to this county assembly. But for now, because they have tried, we should support this report and make sure that next time they go to the ground and see what is on the ground and bring the other report, which is comprehensive and which will assist the Nandi people. I do support the report, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Fred.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Nimeshukuru kiranja wetu kwa ile kazi nzuri aliyofanya Mheshimiwa Spika kwa kusanya hiyo habari yote. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, ya kwanza ningependa kuwajulisha Mheshimiwa kwamba hiyo matoilet haikujengwa na hii serikali. Mheshimiwa Spika, ya kwanza inamaanisha waziri mwenye wako hapa ameshindwa na kazi. Mheshimiwa Spika, ya pili Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa ile kazi tulisunguka wote tuliona Mheshimiwa Spika hakuna kazi imefanyika. Mheshimiwa Spika, imeunga mkono ule mheshimiwa mwenye alisema huyo mtu atolewe kwa hiyo idara wapewe mwingine. Na hivi sasa Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa tuanzishe idara ya safari rally Mheshimiwa Spika, ile iko na 4-wheel, ili mheshimiwa huyu aende pale kwa sababu anaelewa yale. Mheshimiwa Spika, Mheshimiwa Spika, yeye mpaka sasa Mheshimiwa Spika, akitembea kule mashinani anasema yeye ndiye angekuwa David Governor. Sasa yeye anangojea hiyo kiti, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na nimeshukuru wale walitengeneza ile sheria, Mheshimiwa Spika, ile ya PPI, kwa sababu ile mwaka ujao mawaziri wote watakuwa nyumbani, Mheshimiwa Spika, kwa sababu nilikuwa nalalamika kila mara nikisema idara kama hii hakuna chochote imefanyika, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa watu yangu, Mheshimiwa Spika, hakuna hata nusu, hakuna hata kitu imefanywa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Pia ningependa kuambia Mheshimiwa, tusipofukuza mtu tutafukuzwa na wananchi, kwa sababu tutaulizwa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mtu kama huyo, Mheshimiwa Gavana atafutie nafasi kama ile waziri Paliachi. Mheshimiwa Gavana alikuja akaweka kwa ofisi, hata huyu jamaa apeleke mahali, kwa sababu tutafukuza yeye nyumbani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hiyo mswada tutaleta hapa na lazima ataenda nyumbani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na nafikiri kama waheshimiwa wanakumbuka, kuna siku niliwaambia ukipatia kazi mtoto ya tajiri, huyu jamaa hajawahi lala njaa, hajawahi kula sukuma, hajawahi tembea uchi, hana habari na chochote, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na huyu jamaa anafaa kwanza yeye atolewe kwa hiyo kiti, watafute mtu mwingine na apewe, Mheshimiwa Spika, ili tuendelee na kazi ya kaunti yetu ya Nandi, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa sababu mimi najua sana wakati Mheshimiwa Komborereta alikuwa waziri, Mheshimiwa Spika. Yale yote alikuwa anafanya ni yale yote kijana yake anafanya, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na akitembea akifanya nini, yote zinafanana, Mheshimiwa Spika. Tungependa pia yeye ajue ya kwamba ile kazi tumempatia, wananchi wanaitisha, na tunataka kaunti ya Nandi ijengwe. Ukiangalia hapa town, biashara hapa town, Mheshimiwa Spika, watu wanauza nje, Mheshimiwa Spika. Watu kila mahali unakuta mtu amefungua biashara ya hoteli, yeye anauza samaki, amekata license ya 100,000, mwingine anakuja uza nje, Mheshimiwa Spika. Mboga inauzwa nje, kila kitu inauzwa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hapa town, Mheshimiwa Spika, tuko na shida.
Hoja ya arifa, Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Clara.
Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa kupata habari kutoka kwa Mheshimiwa Fred. Amesema kwamba waziri huyu wa department hii hajawahi enda uchi. Nataka kujua kama hajawahi enda uchi, so ningependa kujua kama yeye mwenyewe amewahi kutembea uchi.
Honorable Fred.
Mheshimiwa Spika, hata nashangaa kwa Mheshimiwa rafiki yangu, pengine yeye amesaliwa juzi. Wasasi wetu alikuwa ananunua t-shirt na kinyasa. Mwingine anafaa kinyasa, mwingine anafaa t-shirt. Unatembea bila kinyasa. Na nafikiri ni mambo ilifanyika. Pengine wewe una habari, tulitembea, tunajua vile tulifanya, Mheshimiwa Spika. Wakati mwingine tulikuwa tunaenda kuomba manguo kwa jirani. Unapewa ile imeraruka na unaendelea naye, Mheshimiwa. Hiyo ni uchi, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na nafikiri sasa hata mtoto wetu asipa yenye fedhali imeraruka, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na sisi tulitembea, na kuambia sisi tulikuwa na tabu, Mheshimiwa Spika. Hiyo ndio na maana kila siku nashukuru Mungu. Mheshimiwa Spika, nikimalizia ningependa kuomba wale waheshimiwa wote wenye wanatoka Masau watukubalie tufukuze huyu jamaa. Asante sana, Mheshimiwa.
Honorable Bwambok.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I do support the committee for bringing up this report. However, Honorable Speaker, this report has got a lot of challenges to the department. And I echo Honorable Fred, because during the swearing in of the CECs and the other members, the CEC was ranked to be the last and in the front of the governor. And Honorable Fred himself raised that issue. So it's upon the committee to act immediately to see that at least something is done, so that we see the fruits of the work of this committee. However, Honorable Mengage again is ironically using the term of 19 to raise an issue of toilets nationally as being a day that was. But I know in itself, he mentioned it ironically, Honorable Speaker, of that day, because the status of all this in Mosoriot, the place is very poor, and I know this department has not even gone there through even the committee to look at some of the status of pollution blocks in my place, Mosoriot. However, Gideon is raising that Nandi has got a spacious place. No, not more than Mosuriot, because Mosuriot is very, even 1,000 acres is there. And we want to develop it as a town so that it will overrule the other one because of the space. So let us not defend something that is not there. So even by winning, when the Honorable Gideon was raising an issue concerning the Goitalel, we got it through the space that was there, while the Nandi is still looking for. So you see, let us not defend something which is not there, so that at least it does not move anything. Honorable Speaker, you see, as concerning this, I really need also the department, the committee, led by Honorable Januarias, who is being debated most of the time. Let him work so that at least we see the fruits of the department is served and the committee at large. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Trufosa.
Asante sana Bwana Spika, hata mimi nimesimama ili nichangie. Nataka nishukuru wanakamati wa biashara, wamefanya kazi mzuri, lakini nimepitia hiyo document, lakini kuna mahali amuku capture. Mmesema mlienda monitoring kwa soko. Nimeona sere penye mmesema ya kwamba choo iliporomoka, lakini picha yenyewe haionekani. Nimeona ya Kabiet, nimeona ya Kiliboni, lakini ya sere hakuna. Inatakana kitu ambacho mnasema imeporomoka iangaliwe, picha ionyeshe ya kwamba kweli iliporomoka. Ionyeshe ya kwamba mlifika mahali pale. Kwa sababu soko ya sere ni soko kubwa kwa kati ya yale ilijengwa na Shoma. Ilikuwa inaongoza. Wacha nirekebishe mheshimiwa mwingine ambaye alisema ya kwamba ilijengwa mwaka wa 2016. Ilikuwa 2014. Ninajua kwa sababu nilikuwa mmoja ya wanakamati ambayo walijenga hiyo soko. Na wakati waliunga soko 3, Serem, Kaptumo na soko Mchinga, Mheshimiwa Magdalene alikuwa treasurer. So tunajua sana kuhusu hizo soko. Tangu wakati huo mpaka saa hii soko haifanyiki, haitumiki. Na ilijengwa vilivyo vile Mheshimiwa Swati amesema. Ilijengwa kweli kweli na pesa ambayo ilitumika ni milioni 38, sio 35. Lakini unapata tu simekaa sasa, imeanza kuseeka, inataka ifanywe renovation, lakini hakuna pesa ambayo tunapata kutoka pale. Unapata wada biashara, kina mama wanauza mboga kwa barabara. Ninaomba wanakamati siku moja muende mtembelee soko ya Serem. Siku ya soko mtaona maajabu. Mboga inauzwa kwa barabara, pikipiki pale, makari pale. So unashindwa hii soko ambayo ilijengwa ilikuwa ya maana gani? Na watu wa county wa revenue wanaenda kukata revenue kwa watu wa barabara, na soko imebaki kule empty. Kazi yao ni nini? So kuna ulegevu kutoka chama ya biashara. So ninaunga yule alisema uongozi ya chama ya biashara ni mbaya, na ni kweli. Kwa sababu kama hizi soko ingefanya kazi, ingetumika, Serem, Kaptumo, Kibiok, tungepata pesa mingi kutoka hizi masoko kwa wafanyi biashara. So ninaomba tu wanakamati muendelee kufanya kazi, mfanye monitoring na mkapcha kila kitu pale. Alafu tena pia hii kukawanya kwa ablution block na stalls kweli sio haikufanya kwa njia ambayo inatakana. So mfuatilie ile kila mahali iwe sawa na pale pengine. Otherwise nasema asante, mlifanya kazi mzuri, ninawaunga mkono. Asante.
Honorable Fred.
Mheshimiwa Speaker, ningependa kupata habari kuhusu hii mtandao. Kila mara huwa inasimwa. Nashangaa kwa nini Mheshimiwa Speaker, kwa sababu kila mara tunauliza. Ningependa kupata habari kwa mwenye anasimamia wa ICT kama anaelewa maneno yake ama namna gani Mheshimiwa Speaker. Pia Mheshimiwa Speaker, kila mara hii ma speakers inatusumbua Mheshimiwa Speaker. Na kila mara tunauliza na hakuna mtu anatujibu, Hakuna kazi inaendelea, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kuna mtu amesembea na kazi yake, Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Fred, the same will be addressed as soon as the session adjourns. Honorable Terry.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to make my comments on the report before us, and before I do that, I would like to thank the Committee on Trade for the work they did. Although their contribution as individual members seem not to tally with what they came up with, and I would like to touch on the Kabongwa ablution block, which is said to be complete, and it's looking complete, but it's not in use. The reason why it's not in use is that the contractor who did Kapongwa ablution block completed the work, but is not captured under pending bills because he doesn't have any documents. He has severally requested that he takes his materials from this complete toilet to use elsewhere because he is not captured anywhere. So I really wish the Committee on Trade can note that the work is complete, it's beautiful, it is necessary, but no one is ready to pay for that work. I also want to touch on Kilibwani
Mshaji,
Arwas.
Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Fred.
Ningependa kujulisha Mheshimiwa Terry ya kwamba tumefuatilia sana tangu siku ile wenye walijenga toilet wote wako na PQ peke yake, na kulingana na sheria hawezi lipwa kwa sababu kwa ile serikali walipewa tu na wakaenda wakajenga. Lakini mpaka sasa Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi niko na mbili Nyaimba Kurio na Kiroket, wala walijenga ni watu wangu. Tumefuatilia mpaka wamesema kwamba hiyo pollution block hakuna vile italipwa. Sasa wenyewe wataki watumiwe kwa sababu hawajalipwa, Mheshimiwa Spika.
Honorable Terry.
Thank you for the information, Honorable Fred, but for the committee, will you allow them to take their materials, or what will you do about that? Because these are beautiful, they are necessary. If they are to demolish them and take their materials, we'll still construct other toilets. So because they have the big use, I think you can negotiate with the government to see how they can pay them, because we need them. Because from your recommendation, you said they should be opened as fast or as soon as possible.
Information, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Swadi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I just want to inform the Honorable Member and the entire House that let us support the report of task force, which was tabled in this county assembly, and we discussed that report. And in that report, I think we said very clearly that those who don't have documents to sit with the government and agree the way forward, how to be paid. But even this one of the toilet of Kabongo, yes, we visited at the Public Accounts Committee and we recommended to be paid when the government executive was agreed with the stakeholders how to do with that. So that report of task force is very important, Honorable Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Fred. Honorable Fred.
Mheshimiwa Speaker, ningependa kupata habari kwa Mheshimiwa Swadi ya kwamba tulikuwa na habari ya Kiboi. Tulipitisha, lakini baadaye wakasema sheria hairuhusu. Ningependa kupata habari kwake kwa hii nyingine watatumia sheria gani, kwa sababu walitumana mpaka serikali kuu, na serikali kuu walikataa kwamba sheria lazima itangazwe na watu waombe mwenye ameshinda ndiye mwenye ameweka bei ya chini. Lakini ukiangalia kwa hii hakuna mtu mwenye alikuwa na haikutangazwa, hakuna chochote. Ndio ningependa pia tuambie hata hiyo habari yakileta hapa sheria gani itaturuhusu tuwalipe, Mheshimiwa Speaker.
Honorable Fred, before I can allow Honorable Ngetich, I think yesterday it was part of the discussion when Honorable Mengech brought the motion. And I remember what came out clear is the insincerity that the Department of Finance has been exhibiting. If you look at the trajectory, the first report was a task force constituted by the same executive. It had its recommendation. It had raised queries on such. When the county assembly picked up and we handed over to Pick Park PICPAC gave the same recommendation but was practical by saying, like such a case, you said you have 2 toilets. Terry talks about the Kabongwa toilet. It has been done. It was procedurally not, the procurement procedures were not followed in allocation, but the project is done. I think the committee report, PICPAC committee report sought that alternative dispute resolution be employed, where the county government invites the contractor, they discuss, forward their recommendation to the COB, and ask for, is there a way the same can be regularized if work was done but procedure was not followed? Then when the county assembly adopted the report, which I think the executive was not ready for, they thought we will not adopt the report, they immediately undertook a different idea of writing to the control of budget, not the control of budget, the auditor general, to undertake another special audit, which again gave the same recommendation. After the 3 reports, which have a similar conclusion, and lastly, the control of budget wrote a letter which said the county governments to see and provide a mechanism of settling the pending bills, settle dispute and conflict regarding ineligible or irregular allocated contracts. But despite those 4 processes, I don't think the CC or the Department of Finance has been in any way of help to offer. And that's why I think Honorable Swadi is correct with saying what happens. And I think yesterday when the House adopted the motion by Honorable Mengech, as we speak right now, we've just dispatched the letter to the county secretary as well as the CC Finance, so that on 3rd of December, which is next week on Tuesday, he will be facing the entire House to give us a clear answer. And the answer would be, what plan do you have? Because the control of budget also gave the same recommendation. Call such contractors to the table, accept there was an irregularity, but what can you do about it? Because there are only 2 ways about it. Number 1, the contractor can choose to donate, which I don't think any of them want to do that because they spend their money. Alternatively, as Honorable Terry said, some of them said they'll demolish, take their materials. The county government can do nothing about it. Alternatively, they can say, can we then work backwards and write for exemption from the Treasury and the COB that advertisement be done and the valuation of the project be done, because it's a fact that a building has been done, but the procedure was not followed. Those ones can only happen if there's a meeting between the department and the said contractors. But if the 3 reports, the task force report, the county assembly report, the special audit report, the letter from the control of budget, if the 4 of them have not been adhered to, then that shows insincerity. So on Tuesday, those should be the questions that we're asking. If you look at yesterday's motion, one of the requirements was, let the CC tell us what plans does he have to settle that. And these examples will be the best to use. What happens to such projects? 2013 to 2017, some projects were done, procedure was not followed. I can be the devil's advocate and say at that time the systems were not there. IFMIS wasn't there. You can't do the same now. But during that first regime, because the county governments were new, it was possible to do that. There was frustration by the counties to want projects to be done, yet they don't have money. So those issues can only be dealt with if put to the table, the way the county assembly considered them, special audit committee considered it, the task force considered the same. So I think let us wait for Tuesday. When the CC and the team from finance come, that should be the direct question we ask. Honorable Terry, kindly conclude.
Thank you. I was also raising concern over Kilipwani Arwos market. The members said it's not fenced. I don't know whether the said market is actually in Kilibwani or Arwos market, and whether there is an pollution block in the same. Looking at the entire report and looking at even the Kapsabet market itself, there is serious lapse in the department. All over the town, fishmongers in the evening sell fish everywhere, and in the report we have stalls that are just completed, awaiting allocation. I really wish this report could capture that, and I would wish to make some recommendation on amendment on top of the recommendations from the committee, that the stalls adjacent to the market be allocated for fish as fish market and allocated to fishmongers as soon as possible, so that at least we have a fish market around here. Another recommendation that I want to move a motion of amendment is that in every market, let there be a smoking zone, especially around here in Kapsabet, between the main market and the garages that are there. Because every time you reach there, you smell cigarette, those women and those people around the market are suffering, Honorable Speaker. I'd wish to have that as recommendation 11 and 12 in the general recommendations from the committee. And I want to ask...
Honorable Terry, I will not allow you to move at this point. Honorable members, in fact, as I was going through the committee reports, there's quite a bit of grammatical errors and some contributions needed in infusion into this report. Quite a number of amendments are open-ended, and I would ask the committee, I will give them time in the afternoon, including the amendments by Honorable Terry or any other member, Honorable Trufosa, Honorable Swadi. The issues you raised, I would rather they are captured here on findings and all that. So, but I'm more concerned about quite a number in your general recommendations committee. I've tried to read through, and there's significant grammatical errors that need to correct. So I would not wish to put a question on it until and when we have those amendments be considered. Honorable Terry, I've just received a request for your amendment, and any other afternoon we bring all those as well as the grammatical errors. I will ask the legal team to try clean up the editorial.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Mengech.
Thank you for that. I stood because I wanted to make that request, but afternoon may not be possible. I would request that you give us time until tomorrow so that we can.
Fair enough. So we can also bring it tomorrow afternoon. So all the amendments as well as the grammatical errors we correct tomorrow afternoon, we can proceed with the same. Next order.
Order number 9, adjournment.
The House adjourns until the next sitting.